Never before has there been such a huge diaper pack. The Kiddo Play introduced in Diaper News episode 27 comes in an XXL package with 20 pieces. With most ABDL diapers, 10 or 12 pieces have become the norm. There are of course a few outliers. Bambino, for example, is known for its particularly small packs of just 8 diapers. But the biggest so far have been various rears with 16 pieces in them, such as Lil Bella and Lil Monster. As these are diapers of different thicknesses, most packs are now about the same size. At least until now. The Kiddo Play is obviously significantly longer. In a direct comparison with common mid to upper range ABDL diapers, Kiddo's pack is pretty much as long as 2 other packs stacked on top of each other. You should bear this in mind when storing them. For example, I have a cupboard with shelves that are designed to the height of normal packs. I can't get the Playtime in there without taking it out. Nice gimmick. The pack has a label on which the owner's name can be entered. You certainly don't need it. But it can be a nice gimmick if you want to give the pack to someone as a gift, for example. Visually, the manufacturer is in line with the trend. It is printed but allows you to look inside. In this case, however, it is on the side instead of the usual front. I think it's good that the pack has a tear open aid at the top. As with the other modern packs, it does take a little while to understand how it works. Otherwise you pull on the pre-punched surface without getting it open. But once you know how it works, it can be opened without tools such as scissors or a knife. This is still quicker, but only if you have one of these to hand. There is also no risk of accidentally damaging the diapers when tearing them open. Inside, the pack is structured like 2 packs stacked on top of each other. This means it contains 2 rows of diapers on top of each other. As with the others tested, Kiddo refrains from pressing the diapers excessively into the pack. As a result, they are easy to remove and are nice and loose. The Playtime is completely printed on the outside. The manufacturer's name can be seen on the front, as Abu and others try to do. This way, the wearer at least advertises the brand if you see the diaper on someone in real life or in pictures. The focus of the motifs is on toys. They are complemented by colored lines and patterns in several places. In keeping with the name, it has "Play" on the back, whereby this lettering is reminiscent of toy blocks with letters on them. The outer film is pleasantly soft and doesn't rustle too much. It doesn't quite come close to the high-quality material of tykables, such as the Waddler. Nevertheless, it feels good. Especially considering the price, I'm impressed by the quality of workmanship, but more on that later. It is sealed with plastic adhesives that can be opened and resealed. This basically works. As usual, however, the longer you have been wearing the diaper, the more difficult it is to unfasten. Velcro is more flexible here. However, Velcro has other disadvantages and is in a different price category. Inside, it has the higher leakage protection that has long since become standard for ABDL diapers. It is not only designed to prevent leakage down the sides towards the legs. It also provides space to increase the absorption capacity with additional pads. I tested whether this is necessary in everyday use. Let's start with the empty weight. A fresh diaper weighs 182 grams. This is well below the average of the others tested and is reminiscent of older models such as the Bambino Classico V2. At that time, ABDL diapers were much thinner than they are today. What we should not forget, however, diapers have become thicker and more expensive. Playtime is trying to counteract this trend with a price of €40 per pack. 2 per diaper is easy to calculate in your head for a pack of 20. This is rare for the diapers tested so far. In the ABDL range few are below this. Even the alpaca cost €2.16 more at the time of testing at the end of 2023. In the meantime, the price has risen to €2.24 there too. You can still find some that cost less than €2 each. The classic example is crinkles. In the case of crinkles, you pay the low price with disposable adhesives and a not too high suction power. Others do offer glue for resealing. On the other hand, they cut back on absorbency and the designs are not for everyone. 2 per ABDL diaper is clearly in the lower range, which Kiddo can probably also realize because of the large pack. How does the Playtime perform in terms of absorption? I wore almost a whole pack until the diaper leaked by itself. The measured values were only at 1.8 and 1.9 kilos total weight. One diaper even cracked the 2 kilograms mark. In comparison with the previous tests, this is only a slightly above average result and therefore far from a top value. However, this cannot realistically be expected at this price. Several of the top diapers clearly exceed the €3 mark. The Little Rascal V2 is still in the top 5 and wins in the price-performance ratio with €2.69 per diaper. The Playtime is well positioned in this respect. It achieves a similar absorption performance to the Safari, which costs more at €2.33. However, the Safari feels thicker than the Playtime. The scale confirms this. At 214 grams, Safari is significantly heavier. The Kiddo Playtime is a good choice for you if a less thick diaper is enough for you. For example, for transition, when you can only wear them for a limited time and a thick one wouldn't be worth it. I sometimes have this some time before showering. Or maybe it should be rather thin because the diaper is worn outside or in an apartment with people outside the scene. Some couples like to change their own diapers. Here, too, it is undesirable to wear the thickest diapers, which take much longer to change. It may not even be enough to do it during the week. There are several reasons for this. Even if the extra cost of a thicker diaper is small, it doesn't make sense in all these cases. Although I personally prefer to wear thicker ones, it's not an either-or decision. I make it dependent on the situation. If I can and it fits, I wear thicker ones. Sometimes thinner ones in between. When it comes to less thick diapers, the Playtime has achieved a place on my favorites. I find only a few disadvantages. Due to its size, it doesn't fit on my cupboard shelf. On the other hand, it lasts longer because it has more contents. If you wear more often or even 24/7, you will use up 10 to 12 diapers faster than 20. However, you also have to dig deeper into your pocket for the larger pack. If you have less money, a pack of Safari for €27.90 or €23.90 from Lil Soaker will certainly be easier than the €40 for Playtime. Whether these are actually disadvantages depends very much on your own situation. Kiddo doesn't set any records, but it does offer a solid diaper at a reasonable unit price. This is an important target group that should not be forgotten in times of increasingly thicker and more expensive diapers. How do you see it? Stay dry until the next video.